Hello and welcome back to my channel, Wild Love Living. My name is Heather. If you have been here before, welcome back. If you have not, welcome. I am very intentional about living a life of freedom and full joy. Super inspired by a live YouTube that I just listened to today with Stephanie Perry, who is doing a December decluttering challenge. It speaks so close and personal to my life and what's very clear, so many of our lives. There were over 300 and some odd people, probably women, who are generally drawn to her channel, live, listening, commenting, and inspired. And not only inspired, making progress towards their next step. That is impact. So I am on the heels of that, really wanting to make sure that something that I hold so close and dear to me in terms of decluttering and making space for living a life of full joy, that's Wild Love Living, that I jump on today and do my best to share with you. So I'll put all the information in the description below of how you can get into this challenge. But trust and believe, if you don't hear this in the moment of when the challenge is happening, which this is November, it starts in December and it ends at the end of December. When you hear it, no time will be better than the now. And that, for me, again, speaks volumes. Even having this channel live, published now, has so much to do with how I was inspired by many YouTubers over time, during the times that I needed to find inspiration and impact and alignment to the things that mean a lot to me. So I'm here to share what I do in my own life, what I experience, and also what I am called to by others, and just being in abundance and sharing it with everyone. That leads me to my first feeling about hearing about this challenge. It is definitely something I have been doing, decluttering. And I'm sure most of you have. If you haven't, you have at some point. If you're where you are now, you've decluttered. You've moved on from something that was no longer needed, necessary in your life, and you're here. So for you, like myself, give ourselves the grace that we deserve, that we have gotten here. You know, we are exactly where we need to be in this moment. And we get to create the life that we want to live of full joy. I will give you a quick overview. The decluttering is anything and everything that you feel necessary that is, there is a need for things to shift, right? So for me, here's some examples. Photos. I have multiple photos in the memory of my computer. Most of the memory is being held by photos. Great photos. Some not so, they're just flicks from a point in time. But what I realized, each photo that I go to, there's an emotion that is connected to that. And at this point in my life and where I am now in the process of my journey to live out my life full joyed and purposeful, those images aren't necessary. There are many that aren't necessary. But what I noticed that the iCloud keeps dropping them. So something as simple as the technology that I need to sit down with, where I would prefer not, but I will, to get these images out of my space. Bless them, because they all served a purpose for me to have been present in my life, even to have had life to be there to even snap a shot. Like, I don't want that to go unnoticed. So it reminds me of Marie Kondo, where she says, before you give something away, thank it, have that gratitude for it. That also speaks to life overall. Every part of life plays a purpose. every part of life, even every article that we call ourselves decluttering and moving on, moving to the next place or space, whether it's recycled, donated, whatever, it served its purpose. So we give grace, we give gratitude, we give honor, and we thank it, because most of what life does and all these things around us reminds us is that the plain part of our life is really what helps us to cultivate what it is we really want. It's a process. If you saw my last video, you'll see where I really spoke about that. It's something, again, reminding myself, be patient. It's a process, and it is your purpose that you're moving through this journey of life to have this wild love for yourself, starting with self, from the inside out. So I can go on. However, I really want to encourage you, whether you jump into this particular challenge or you take the principles, and hopefully you'll continue with these principles as you go on through life. But if there is no group challenge, you can also always have a challenge for yourself, because you deserve to be able to have whatever it is that no longer serves to be moved out of your space, right? Mind, body, spirit, right? Your environment, inside and out. And I just want to share something, because I said this really resonated with me, this particular challenge, because I've been on this path. I notice when there's a lot around me or certain things around me, there are times that it could be a distraction at times. So I notice, am I allowing this to distract, or is it something that I really need to adjust, right? When I heard of this challenge, I looked around and I saw what was already happening in my space. So, for instance, even something like this is a television. Clearly behind it, you can see all the cords, so forth, right? But in my decluttering, I also needed to quiet down the space energetically as well. So just putting up this fabric over the television has helped to give me a more space to focus in and to have less of what feels like to me this energy that's just radiating around me. And interesting enough, this beautiful fabric is from one of my trips to India, and it's been here in the closet just sitting. So also the decluttering is also how you take something out of a space where it's been set aside, cluttered, kind of storage, where sometimes we can feel like the storage is helpful for decluttering, but also having storage could be a place where we stuff things, right? And that's what can also happen to us. We can be the storage for the stuff, and we hold on to it. So here I am releasing all of that, and I'll show you. I have no fancy equipment. Again, I just allowed myself to video and publish these videos and remind myself that it's enough, that what I get to share is definitely an outlet for me and perhaps impact for someone else in a positive way. So ain't nothing fancy about how I'm going to move through showing you what it is I've already been doing in my decluttering. So here we go. Hopefully I get this all right so you can see. So as I said, this is television being covered really came about from decluttering this entire space. So as I step back, you'll see there's very little there. The stand that's there where the television and the plants are is a dining room table that I was using for my desk, which I've converted into, my desk is now something as simple as this table that was put together, parts picked up, purchased at the Container Store. But then again, I'm using something that inspires me, that feels good, that has texture, and that's a simple yoga blanket. I use those in my teachings all the time, so why not? nice and cozy. But what I really want to show you, the inspiration came by moving this furniture out. By saying this is no longer needed. It's a beautiful media stand. It's going to serve somebody somewhere somehow. You know, I was really considering how much I paid, how long I've had it, on and on and on. Again, the emotional stuff. And I said, the best I can do is try to make the impact by finding a place for it to go. So with intention and the pure consciousness of, listen, thanking it and knowing that it can serve someone else, make sure I do my due diligence to reach out to see who may be interested and can use it for their own homes. So that's why it's still there. You may have even noticed there were towels on the edges, because guess what? Those edges aren't supposed to be there. That is not good feng shui. But if it's necessary for it to be there before get moving it on, to take the time, not too much time, to find another home, fine. So it's proofed around the edges so that we don't bump ourselves and create some kind of injury and whatnot. Now that I say the word injury, stay tuned. I am going to share a little more about how I'm really impacted at this point of moving things forward. Recently, I had a major, unexpected surgery, which is a story in itself. It's a part of my journey of wild love living a life of full joy, because we get to right now, because that's all we really have is the now. So making the best of that, making space for your new you, your new norm, because you get to. There's a few things I wrote, and I'm looking here because it's something I want to make sure that is a takeaway. Why I'm doing this video, I jumped on right after a yoga class. There's an opportunity for people to get involved to help, and I said, this is what I can do. I can get on and share and hopefully inspire someone else. I'm going to, again, have the links below. But also, one of the things I heard that really stood out is the compound effect, which is brilliant. It's often that we are in these silos, or it feels like we're in silos, where we don't necessarily feel like we have community and connection of like minds, or just people that are living out life that we're inspired by. That's a good way to say it. And here in this community at Wild Love Living, that's my intention, is to create that, to have that be. So you feel like things are it may not always be, but that there's something that you can go to listen to learn from, and to feel loved by within yourself. So if you have any comments, any questions, any ideas that you may want me to talk about more that relate to anything that I've already shared in the few videos ahead, I talked about what the channel is about, but also the things that really are bringing us full joy, whether we're doing them or not. It could just be a desire. Let me know. There's a lot of life experience we all get to share, and we get to share it now. Again, thank you so much. Stay well, because you're already well. You already have that within you. Do the things that you can control, what you can do to make your space, mind, body, and your overall environment a place of full joy. Remember, it's a process. And be patient. It's a process, and it is your purpose. Thank you for sharing time with me. Again, full excitement. Just sharing off the top of my heart, off the top of my head, and considering what impact I can make and compound what's already happening in this decluttering challenge. Again, all the information will be below. I wish you all the very best. Stay well. Until next time, take care.